Hey everybody, I'm back, and right now I'm going to be showing you how to create a chat client. So multiple people can connect to one server and then chat between each other. So it's going to be kind of an in-depth tutorial. Might be a really long tutorial. I'm not too sure. It's going to be one video, just because I like to keep it and do it in one streak. But to start out, if you guys haven't watched my Getting Started with CryoNet tutorial yet, go back and do that, and we're pretty much going to come right back to where we started. So you should be somewhere like this. Let me just type this stuff in off the top of my head really quickly. You should be somewhere around here, and pretty much chat client, it's going to be GUI based. So I actually already made the GUI to make it simpler on myself and also you. I'm going to post the, we can do this different ports for the heck of it. So I can just show this to you. Anyways, I'm going to post the source code for the whole thing, including the GUI in a separate link in the description, so you guys don't have to type that all in. But I already wrote that out, so that's all set up. But you should be somewhere like this. I set it to these ports to show you that it can be really any port as long as another server is not binded to it already. So if you have like a game server running like I don't know, Minecraft for example, that's a popular one. If it's running on this port or another port, you can't connect to their port. So I forget what my Minecraft is. I think it's like 25565 or something like that. Anyways, we should be somewhere here. So from here, we're kind of just going to get started. So we're going to set up the server listeners. We're going to do server.add listener, new listener. This should be familiar from the last tutorial, the echo tutorial. Just import this stuff, and I'm typing it out this time just because I don't really feel like copying it. I feel like that's the crappy way to do it, because then you guys have to pull it up and everything. But this should be everything, so you're going to have to import the connection as well. If you click Control-Shift and O, it'll bring up imports automatically. Anyways, we should be at this point, so we're kind of just going to stop there. We're going to hop down to, actually we're going to create the package right now, so we're going to kind of think what package we're going to need. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new package called packets, and I got to stop doing that. We're going to create a new class called packet. Turn that off. You don't have to worry about that. Name it packet. Alright, so from here, what do we have to do? We're going to have to do, first packet we're going to have is packet1 connect. So we'll do that. So packet1 connect, that's done. What are we going to need? We're pretty much going to need the username of the person. So we're going to do public string username. Alright, that's done. We need to extend packet here. Alright, what after that? Let me think. Let me get a drink really quick, guys. Alright, so after that, we're going to have to do, we have to be able to send information. So, one of the things we have to do is we have to see when another client connects. We have to tell people that are already connected. So we're going to do packet2 client connected. And this is pretty much going to do string, we're going to do public string client name. And this is going to send just the client name to the client. So say that Bob connects to the server and I'm already on the server. What the server's going to do is it's going to send this packet to Bob saying, or send it to me saying Bob connected to the server, and I'm pretty much going to print it out. So we're going to do that. So let's extend packet as well. What else? We're going to do packet 3 client. Oops. Disconnect. And I mean, we really could just make this one packet and say packet information and pretty much print out anything that happens, but for the sake of being able to extend on this and understand the whole point of it, I'm going to show you it this way. So if you've already had that pop in your head, you're more than welcome to do that. Client name, so whatever the client name was. Alright, after that we're going to be able to send information to packet3 chat. This is pretty much going to say string username and message, and make sure that's public as well. You'll be able to access it. So public string, and then it's going to extend this packet. So that's that there. And I'm sorry, this should actually be 4. My bad. So rename this or recreate it. If you want to rename it, you right click on it, you go to refactor, I'm sorry, and just click on rename, and we're just going to change that to 4. Finish. Okay. Or you can even just change the 4 and then rename it from there. Anyways, continuing on, that should be just about all that we need. If we need more, we can come back and add it later. So go back into main. We're going to do register all these. We're going to do server.getCryo, and this is going to be a lot of copying and pasting. Register class, and we're just going to delete this for now. And because we need to register 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes, I'm just going to print it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm going to do packet dot class and then we're going to do packet one connect.class. We're going to do packet two connect.class. I'm sorry, packet two connect, packet two client connected class. Packet three client disconnected class. And you have to import all these, by the way. I'm pressing Control Shift and O as I go along. Client 3 disconnected. Alright, import that. Then packet 4 chat class. So that should be good there. I'm going to copy the text from here, paste it there. Alright, anyways, so import that, import packet 4 that chat. So it registered everything there. Next, we're going to have to create a function that pretty much is going to be able to add a connection to an array. So how about we do, we're going to create actually a map. So we're going to do private static, reason it's static because we're in static method, hash map connection. Actually we're going to do string comma connection connected. Actually let's do clients equals new map. Now we'll do hash map. Hash map string comma connection. So what is a hash map? What is a hash map? Who knows? Pretty much what it is it is a it's a holder, almost a container, which pretty much has an identifier, in this case, or the key, in this case the string, and then the value. So we can find a person's name. Pretty much the way it's going to work is the string is going to be the username, the connection is going to be the client connected. So what to do? What we're going to do here is we're going to do if object instance of packet. So if it's a packet, then we're going to do if object instance of packet 1 connects. This is all familiar to you, I know. I'm going to cast that, so we do packet 1 connect p1 equals packet 1 connect and object. So what are we going to do now? So we're going to do p1 dot username. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to add this to clients because they just connected. So we're going to do clients dot put, and then the key is the username, so p1 dot username, because the key is the string, the first one. The value is the connection, so that connection one. And then pretty much we can get this information, the connection, by the person's name if we wanted to. Pretty much just storing that in there. There's really no need for it, but it shows you how to connect clients, keep them stored in a file, etc. So that's that there. After that, we're pretty much just gonna, actually we can do else if object instance of packet 3 client disconnected. We can use this on the server as well. What we're going to do is we're going to pretty much say if the client decides to disconnect, so we're going to have to cast it, and actually this is disconnect packet 3, I'm just going to copy this here, p3 object, so we're going to cast that. And then we're going to do client dot, let me see, remove p3 dot client name. So what this is doing is pretty much if the server receives client disconnect this packet here, pretty much it's saying the client that sent it is disconnected from the server. So we're going to remove them. So we're removing them from the clients by finding their key. That's a parameter it takes. So the key, like I said, is the username or the string. And then what we can do after that is we can do we will do server dot send to all TCP p3. So now what this is doing is, let me do this. Now we'll just do server dot trying to think what to do here. Alright, so first off, make this final. It's going to have to make this final so we are able to change it. So server dot send to all TCP send to all except TCP, pretty much because we don't want to send it to the connection that the client is disconnecting from. Otherwise we'll send it, pretty much it's just gonna not end well because it'll probably throw an error because the connection isn't there. So we're going to do clients.get p3.username I'm sorry, that client name, and then we're going to do P3. So this might be a little confusing to you for a second here. We have to get the ID, so get ID. Alright, so what is this doing? So we're pretty much saying if the server gets the packet3 client disconnect packet from a client, it's pretty much saying that client wants to disconnect. So we're removing them from the client's map that we have up here. And then we're going to send that packet, the same exact packet, to all of the other clients except the client that sent it to us. So except because we're getting the clients that we're getting the connection of the person that sent it to us, and we're getting the ID. That's a parameter that the except takes. So it's going to send it to all of them. And once those clients receive it, it's going to pretty much say this client has disconnected. This client's disconnected. That's all it's really going to say. Now, we're actually going to do it the same thing up here. So when a client connects, we're going to do server.send to all except TCP. And then we're going to do p1. Actually, we can just do what we can do is we actually just do connection.getID p1. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, you're confused on something, anything, you post in the comments, I'll reply to it immediately. Just because I know this can be a little bit confusing. So now, when a client connects with the packet, we put it into the map, and then we're going to send it. We're going to send the same exact packet to all of the connections except the one that sent it to us. So because the one that sent it to us is currently in the loop, so the connection right now, we get that ID and then we send it to all of them except that. We can even do clients.get p1.username .get ID, but it's the same exact thing. There's really no difference. You can do it either way. It's the same thing. Pretty much because we store it in here with the username, so it's getting us this right here, but it's already here, so why would we do that? It just makes more sense to do that. Don't have to go through the whole map to find it. So once the clients receive it, it's pretty much going to say this person is connected at the end. And then what's next? Next we can do else if object instance of packet4 chat. And then I'm going to do packet4 p4 equals packet4 of the object. So I'm pretty much casting it to the packet4. Sorry if I'm going quick. Like I said, pause if you need to. That way I can just go through things without having to make an hour-long video. And right now we are on 12 minutes. So it's pretty good. That would be longer. Anyways, so what we're going to do here is when a client sends a chat, we want to send it to everybody else except the one person that sent it, because the person that sent it, we can pretty much just put it into their client without having to go through the server. So we can just do it that way, or we can just send it to all of them. Doesn't really matter. So we can actually, let's just do that. We can do server.send to all TCP p4. So what this is doing is it's seeing if a packet4 chat was sent. What the packet4 contains is the message and then the person that sent it. So it's going to send it to all the clients. When the clients receive it, they're going to take it, print it out to the text box, and then go from there. So that is that. Honestly, this is the server. It's done. It's completely done. And it's, I mean, what is it? Maybe like 20 lines? Not 20 lines. 30 to 40 of just this here. So it's pretty simple. Now going on to the client. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. We're going to do cryo client, click finish, and just like we did last time, we're going to copy actually everything. So we're going to copy everything except for the main file. So copy here to here, copy this, paste it to the source, and then we need to copy the libs folder, paste it into the client, then right click on the cryo client, go to properties, go to build path, go to libraries, go to add jars, go to cryo client, go to libs, click on the first one, shift click on the last one, click OK, and then click OK. From there we are set up to go. Now this is going to be set up similar to how the Echo server was set up, with the same way that the client is going to be connected to the server. So let's create a new main file again. So main, and let's see, let me create this. Alright, oops. Alright, so what are we doing here? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this code that I set up earlier, and I'm honestly just going to paste it right into here. Now this code is going to be in the description, and I'm going to go through this whole thing. So it's pretty much just going to create the GUI. So I'll run it right now. It's going to show up this little information. We press send, it's going to add it to this. Now we're going to remove that, but that's what it's going to do. We can't edit the text box, but that's it there. Now, let's get to it. So the first thing we do is we implement the action listener interface. Now what this is pretty much it lets us check to see if a button was pressed. So in this case, the send button that you guys saw. So if the send button was pressed, it's going to call this. So when it's pressed, we get the message from the text field. We add it to the text area, which is that big area that was added to, and then we set the text field's text to nothing. So if you notice, we type something in, adds it to that, removes it from here. That's that. Now, continuing on. First thing we do is we create a frame. So this is the window itself. We name it chat client, also shown at the top right here, so that's chat client. We create a new text area, which is right there. We create a new text field with 25 characters, pretty much extending out is what it's saying there. So right here is 25. You can always extend it to make it wider if you want to. Next thing we create is a button, and that's just the button itself. Continue into the main. Now, if you'll notice, we have the main function that runs the actual application, and inside of it we call new main. So pretty much we just go right up to here. Reason we need to do that is because we need to refer to this when it comes down to adding the button, but I'll get to that next. Really quick drink. Alright, so first thing we do is we set the frame size to 450 by 375. So 450 across, 375 down. That's basic. Next thing we do is you set the set location relative to. What that's asking for is a component to be its parent. It's pretty much going to set its relative to that window itself. But if we set it to null, it centers it directly in the center of the page. So that's what that does. Next thing we do is we set the default close operation to automatically close out. So if you'll notice, when I would close out of this, currently it is running, as you can see, but if I would close out, it stops running. Now, to say that we take this out, if we run it, we close it, it still runs. So say that someone runs this program 5 times, there's going to be 5 of these programs running in the background. It's just going to take up a lot of resources that don't want to be taken up. Next thing we create is a panel. This pretty much organizes everything to be added to the frame. Then we create then we add our button action listener to this. So to this file, we pretty much say when a button's pressed, go down to this and call this. Next, we make it so that the text area can't be edited. So as you'll notice, you cannot add any text to this automatically by just typing. Next thing that we do is we create a scroll bar to the left and the right. Or yeah, I guess it's just a vertical right now. So you can go up and down on it if you need to. And let me see dot word set. Let me see. I think we can set it so that there's a word wrap, so you can turn it to the left and the right. Set line wrap. Set word wrap. Wrap style word. We'll set this to true, and then we'll also set text, and this will be in the source as well, so you'll have to add this yourself. Set line wrap to true. So pretty much it says if for example it would type all the way past. Let me actually just show you. It doesn't keep on going to the right, it just brings it down to the next line. So that's what that does. That's basic. Next thing we do is, like I said, is we add the scroll panel to the text area, which is what we created here, up here. And we make it so it's a vertical bar. You can also do horizontal. And we set the preferred size to 430 by 275. So that's the width and the height of the text area itself. Then we add all them to the panel in order. So first we add the text area. You don't add the text area itself, you add the scroll pane. That automatically adds text area. Then you add the text field, so that little field, and then the button. Then you pretty much just add the panel to the frame and set it to visible, and it should be working. So that is that there. Now, coming from this, we need to be able to get a username for the player, or for the user, and send it to the server to connect to it, and continue from there. So what we're going to do up here is we're going to do J option pane dot show input dialog. So what we're going to say is, please enter your username. And we're going to do string username equals. Now what this is going to do is it's pretty much going to pop a little text box saying, please enter your username. Press test, click OK, and then it sets username to whatever you type in, and then it runs everything else after that. So what we want to do is we want to get the username. We want to create a new packet1 connect. So packet1 connect. We want to create packet1 connect. P1 equals new packet1 connect. Done. Okay, now we're going to do p1.username equals username. So we're pretty much sending the username to that. And now here's where we have to set up the client and everything like that. So we're pretty much going to refer back to our echo server. If you would look back at it, we're actually going to do it up here. So we're going to do client equals new client. And I'm sorry, I'm actually going to change this on you. We're going to put it up here. So we're going to do private. We can actually remove these. I'm sorry. We can remove the static. We'll change that and the source as well. Private final client, and then we will set it equal to something here. So we're going to create the client in the main constructor. Then we're going to do client.start, client.connect. We'll do 5,000 timeout. Actually, I'm sorry. Put this below this here. And I'll explain why in a second. So we're going to do 127.0.0.1. Close that off, and then we need to get the ports. So you can type this in, I'll get them for you. I'm going to copy and paste this over into here. So the TCP port is 2390 and the UDP is 23901. So now what I was going to do, we're going to surround this with a try-catch. Now, what was the reasoning for running? What was the reasoning for putting it under the username? Pretty much, we're going to say, actually, I guess it would make more sense to put it above. So before anything's run, we're going to put it above. We're pretty much going to try and connect to the client. If the client connects, we can do, we will continue on. So the client connects, we're going to continue on. Otherwise, we're going to do, we'll do j option pane.show message dialog null, so it's centered. And then we'll do can not connect to server. Alright, then we're going to do frame.exit, close, sorry, frame.close. Where are you? What is the thing to close? Alright, what we can do is we can just do return. Frame.return. Or I'm sorry, what am I saying? Just return. Even better yet, what we can, we'll just leave it at that, whatever. We'll pretty much ends it after that. Doesn't keep on from going on. Otherwise, we can do like, we can say like a boolean, and if the boolean's true, then it'll continue on. So if it runs, cannot connect to server, it pretty much just stops and it exits out. That's what the return does. Now, if we can connect to the server, then it's going to continue on. So if we run this now, and we're able to connect to it, pretty much says what's your username, Facebook for, and it lets you continue on. So we're connected to the server and it lets you go. Continue on. After that, after we set the packet1 connect to everything, we're going to do p1.username equals username. Then we are going to, sorry, I think bugs me after blinks 50 times. We're going to come up here and we're going to register everything. So we're going to do client.getCryo. Actually, this would be much easier. Let's just go into the main. Let's get all this, copy all of it for me, come back here, paste it, and then copy client by pressing Control-C. Double click on server, press Control-V, 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 and that's just going to register everything we have so far. So that registers all the packets for us. Then we are going to create a listener. So add listener, new listener, public void received, if I remember correctly, connection, object, and import all that for me. Press Control Shift and O. Now we're going to do the basic things. If object instance of packet, if object instance of packet1 connect, or actually we'll do client connected. Is that right? Client connected, yeah. Alright, so if we get a packet that is a client connection packet, change to packet 2, I'm sorry, packet 2 client connected. Then we're pretty much going to continue from here. We'll do, I'll actually get back to this later. Come back down here to where we create a new P1 or packet1 connect object, and then we're just going to do client send TCP P1, and then it's going to continue on from that. So let's see if this works correctly. So everything should be good to go. If we get a client connection, we are going to go back up to main, I'm just going to do a little debugging thing here. Make sure you do this too, because it should pretty much say it's working. System.out.println client p1.username connected, and pretty much just going to debug that. So we're going to run this, and we're going to run the client baseball 435 and client baseball 435 connected. So the client successfully connects, and it goes from there. So we can go back and we can delete that. Alright, so what do we have to do next? Let's see what's on the list. Alright, let's go back up to here, and if object instance of packet2 client connected, pretty much want to say that the client connected, we want to tell them that. So we're going to do text area. We're going to get a hand of the text area, so we're going to get a hold of, we are going to get, I'm just going to have this running all the time. Alright, I'm sorry, you know what it is. I can't run it because the server's not running. It's a little area while the text displays. So we're going to do text area dot append. So what append means is pretty much going to be adding this text onto what is already there. So if it says baseball 435 connected and we want to add on hi, how are you, pretty much going to leave the baseball 435 connected already. It's going to add on to it. So we're going to do append, and we're going to do actually have to come up here, packet2 client connected. So we have to cast this first, equals packet2 client connected, and object, and then after that we pretty much just have to go p2 dot, we're going to do p2 dot client name connected, period, and then at the end we're going to do \n. Pretty much what that's saying is \n is equal to, it's kind of like a special command that says to go to the next line, so it goes down to the next line for us automatically. Then that's pretty much that. So that's that for the whole connecting. Else if object instance of packet3 client disconnect, and I'm going to copy this here to make it easy on me, paste p3 equals cast it from the object. Quick way to do it, copy paste, copy paste. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're pretty much going to say text area dot append p3 dot client name plus disconnected, so person disconnected, and then \n, close it off. Alright, now next is the chat. So we're going to do else if object instance of packet4 chat, packet4 p4 equals new packet4 chat. Ooh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Packet4 object, so we have to cast it. Then we're pretty much going to do text area dot append, and now you can kind of organize this however you want. I'm going to do p4 dot username, so I'm going to have the username first, then I'm going to add a little semicolon, add a space, and then add the text after that. You can do it however you would like, and then at the end of that we're going to add that new line thing, so it goes to the next line. That's that. That's honestly all it is then. Down here, we're actually going to have to change that in a second. We'll do that now. Come down, so when the button's pressed to send it, when you get the message, we're going to say if message dot get text, if message dot equals ignore case. Alright, so then we're going to put an exclamation mark in front of it. We're saying if the message is not equal to nothing, so if something's typed in. What we're going to do is we're going to set the text field to nothing. We're going to create a new packet for chat p4 equals new packet for chat, and then up here where I put string username, let me find this really quick. Actually, we don't even have to set the username, do we? Yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. Where we said string username, we're just going to come up here and we're going to do private final string username, so that we have a username to go off of. And I don't know why it's giving me the remove final from it, shouldn't really matter. Private string username. Come back down here, go to p4.username equals username, p4.message equals message. So we're setting the variable username to our username, and the message, the variable message, and the packet to the message that we typed in. Then we're just going to do client.send TCP message. So pretty much it's just going to send message to the client or to the server once we press the send button. So that's that there. Let's see how we're doing here. I'm not too sure what the outcome's going to be. We will soon find out. Baseball 45. And hey there. Alright, so let's see how we are doing, and let's see why it did not say hey there. Probably because... Alright, turn your system.out.print line. Oh, you know what, did I... Okay, we're good there, good there, good there. Okay. Alright, chat. I'm just gonna debug this for a second. Alright. Let me rerun this. Alright, so it looks like it's not receiving that. Let's find out why. Client can send TCP message. Oh, that's why. It's not a message, we're sending the packet. Silly me. Alright, so back down here I accidentally put message. We're sending the packet, not the message. So if we rerun this, run the client, now it should work correctly. Baseball 435. Hey there, YouTube. Send. There we go. Hey there, YouTube. Now let's connect here. Let's try and see what happens when we connect to another server, or another client. Alright, so it didn't send that. We'll figure that out later, don't worry. Hey there. Boom. Alright, hey, how are you? Boom. Good. Alright, let's see. Let's find out why that didn't. Alright, p2.client name plus connected. Alright, let's go to main, let's see what's going on in here. Server send all except the... Okay. Let's try this. Let's just try and see. Username, .get ID. We're going to see if this changes it. It really shouldn't. I don't really think it will. But just to double check. YouTube. I hate this happens. Alright. Alright, let's see. Well, it's not connecting. It's not giving us the connected. Let's try and do this. Let's just do send to all. We're going to send this packet one to just everybody. Oh, you know what it is? I'm so silly. Okay, leave it like that. I'm sorry. What we're going to do is we are accidentally sending that packet back. So we're actually going to do packet 1 client connected P1, or not P1, I'm sorry, that is P2. P2 back connected P2 equals new packet 2 client connected. I was accidentally sending back the packet 1 when we actually check for the packet 2. So we're actually checking to see if it's packet 2, that's why. So coming back here, packet 2 connected. Create the new object, p2.client name equals p1.username. So I guess we could send back the packet 1 connect, but I'm just kind of giving you guys the whole rundown on what you can do when you get one packet and send another packet to the same person. So we're actually going to send p2 here. Close everything off. Alright, and then we will rerun it. Rerun this. Baseball 5. And you can add passwords and stuff like that if you want to. YouTube, and it should pretty much say YouTube connected. Woo! Alright, so that is that. Now let me see how we can do the disconnecting. There should be some type of... Okay, let me find that. Alright, so alright, give me 1 second. I am trying to find code for the client disconnect. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Alright, so it's the same thing as disconnect. Okay, I got it. Alright, so I will put this in the description. Go back into the server. Under the server to add listener, there's also another function called disconnect, looks like. So if we, that's an email, if we go to this function here, pretty much it's going to say the client is disconnected. So we're going to copy we're actually just going to send out everything. So we're going to do server.send to all clients, connection get ID. So we're going to get the ID of the connection, and then we're going to send out this new packet here. We're going to create a new packet 3 disconnect. Packet 3 client disconnect p3 equals new packet 3 client disconnect. Alright, so what are we going to do here? What we're doing is pretty much this function or method's called whenever a client disconnects. So it's going to call automatically. So when it's called, we want to let all the other clients know that it's called. So we're going to create a new client disconnect object, and we're going to set it, the username, the client name, to the username. So we're going to do equals clients dot get. Actually, we have to. Let me see here. Let me think about how to do this. We're going to have to iterate through the hash map. So pretty much, you can't do a for loop with hash maps. There's pretty much something called iterators with hash maps. So with a typical array list, for example, you can just use a for loop and go through each thing. With hash maps, you actually have to go through an iterator, use the iterator, and then pretty much go through each key itself. So we're going to do iterator, it equals, and then we'll do clients dot entry set, yeah, dot iterator. There we go. All right, then we're going to import iterator. That should be imported. Okay. Then we're going to do while it dot has next. So while the iterator, there's still connections in the client's hash map. We have to get the pairs. So we're going to do map dot entry. Oopsie. Map dot entry pairs equals map dot entry it.next. Alright, so what is this doing? Pretty much it's saying we want to get the next value in the iterator. So the next, it's pretty much like a for loop. It's going to give us each value inside of it. So this is going to get us the next pair. So each, like I said, there's pairs. So there's a string connection is our pair. So this is, the pairs is going to return a string and a connection. So we're casting it to a pair, or an entry in this case. And then what we can do is we can do if pairs dot get value equals connection. So if the connection is equal to the connection that is disconnected, we can pretty much confirm that that is the client that we're disconnecting. So we can get the username from that. So we're going to create a local variable string username equals and set to nothing. Then we're going to do username equals pairs.getKey. And if you guys have any questions on this, please just let me know. To cast it to a string because it doesn't know if it's a string or not. I didn't do any templates or anything. And then we're going to do break after that. So we're pretty much saying it's done. We're going to break out of the loop. So then we're going to do if username, if not equal to username dot equals ignore case. So if the username is not equal to nothing, so long am, alright, 38. If it has something inside of it, if it's not just nothing, then we can continue on. So we're actually going to copy this inside of here, and then we're going to do p3.clientName equals username. That is that. Now we're going to send p3 to everybody, except for the connection. So let's double check that this works. Hopefully it does, fingers crossed. Alright. Let's create YouTube. Alright, let's disconnect. Yes, there we go. Base 435 disconnected. So that works well. That means it works exactly how we want it to work. Base 435. You can add as many as you want. It really does not matter. It's going to keep on telling us when people connect, when people disconnect. So if Bob disconnects, it's going to say it on both of them. Disconnect. Ooh, that messed it up, didn't it? Oh, you know why it messed it up? The reason it messed up that you saw the names mess up there, if you caught that, you can go back and view it, is because I'm connecting from the same IP address, so it probably actually connects, it probably actually checks from the IP. Let me try this. If you guys want to do this too. If .get value .equals. This will actually compare the values inside of it, not the actual object. It compares it differently. If you guys want to look into it, you can on your own. I'm gonna see if this works. Alright, alright, and let's run one base. Let's run another. YouTube. Maybe it actually did work, and I'm just going crazy, and I mixed up the things. I don't know. I think I actually messed up how I said it. So I think that this is Bob. This is baseball. This is YouTube, and this is test. So if we disconnect, I should say test disconnected. This is YouTube. YouTube disconnected. Okay, so it's working fine. So that's that there. And now, if we run again, I'm sorry, I just did this twice. I don't know why. We can pretty much just have a little conversation with each other. So let's do it. Hey, send, sub, send, test, send. So, as you can see, our chat client server is successfully working, and we are successfully done the tutorial. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. You guys can add on to it. Let me know what you guys think of it. Please post feedback, tell your friends about it, etc., etc., etc. But I did spend a lot of time on those 41 minutes, plus the other videos. So I hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, post below, and I'll be more than happy to help. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you later in the next video.